Hey guys, welcome to Math with Miss Slough. So glad you guys were able to join me today. Okay, so guys, today we're going to talk about algebraic relations and using independent and dependent variables to write and to say equations. By the end of our math lesson today, we are wanting to be able to do three things, okay? And those three things are here, and we need to be able to, students will be able to label independent and dependent variables with a table. Okay, students will also be able to write an equation using the independent and dependent variables with a table. And lastly, students will be able to verbally describe or say an equation using the table. Okay, so now that we know what our goal is for today, let's talk about some vocabulary words that we're going to hear quite often throughout our lesson today. Okay, so we have 4 words that we're going to hear often. Okay, number 1, we have equation. Has anybody ever heard of the word equation? Or maybe they've used it themselves. Okay, great. So an equation is a fancy word to say math sentence. Just like when we read and write, we have sentences that have periods and capitals and all those fun things that go into sentences. There is a math sentence also. Okay, so we have to be able to write and we have to be able to say math sentences just like we do in reading and writing too. Okay, so to make a math sentence make sense, just like in English, you're writing in English, you have to have certain things in your sentences to make them an actual sentence. You need to make sure that your sentence has an equal sign, saying that this part of the equation equals this part. It might be wrong, it might be right, who knows? But as long as it says that, it's still considered a math sentence, okay? So then you have a variable. A variable is part of the problem that can change, okay? So variable can change in our problem. Then we have independent and dependent. Maybe some of you have used these words when talking to your parents. Maybe you don't want to do what your parents say that you have to do, so you might say, I don't need to do that because I'm independent. Maybe talking to your friends and you might be standing up for yourself saying, I don't need to follow the crowds because you're independent. You do not need to rely on anyone else, okay? So an independent, just like in regular life, we can use the word independent in math. And an independent variable is being manipulated in our equation, okay? It is what can stand alone. It is the cause, okay? So independent can stand alone. It is the cause. And dependent needs a little bit of help, okay? Like all you guys. Pretty sure you don't clean your whole house and cook your meals and make sure that you get to where you need to be each and every day. That would probably be your parents. So you are depending on them to make sure that you are healthy and that you are where you need to be when you need to be there. So just like you, your math equations can also have a dependent. It is what relies on other factors. It's the effect, okay? So the independent causes the dependent to change, okay? So now that we know our vocabulary words, we're going to look at some examples, okay? So we have an example here, okay? We have a tree in the rainforest. It grows 12 feet each year. We need to find the independent and dependent variables and complete the table. Okay, guys? So when we are finding the independent and dependent variables, we're going to label them with, kind of shocking, kind of crazy, but an I and a D. I would stand for which one? Yeah, independent. And D would stand for dependent. Very good job, okay? So we have I and D, okay? We know that we need to complete our table. We're talking about how much a tree grows each year, okay? So which one would be the independent, standing alone, and which one would be the dependent, relying on other parts of the equation? That's right, the years would be the independent. So we're going to write an I for years. And so if the years is the independent, what would be the dependent? That's right, the height. Okay, so now we have found the first part of our problem, the independent and the dependent. Now we need to complete our table. And there's a way we can complete our table using an equation, okay? So to create our equation, we have to figure out what we're looking for. Well, are we looking for the amount of years or the height? We're looking for the height. So we need to be H. H for height equals, and we know 1 year equals 12 feet, right? So which number, so we need to know Y. We're going to put in a Y for years, okay? So Y for years times, how much does it grow each year? 12 feet. Okay, so now we have Y times 12 equals H, or H times Y equals 12. It all means the same thing. Now we have our math sentence because we're saying that this equals that, okay? So to find out how tall it gets in 3 years, we would change our Y to a 3. Very good. So H equals 3 times 12, which as a class, do we know what 3 times 12 is? 36. Very good. Okay, very good. So now we still have to finish our table. We need to see how tall our tree is going to be in 4 years. So we just do the same thing. But instead of 3, we plug in a 4. Very good. And this is in our math sentence. H equals 4 times 12, which would be 48. How tall will the tree be in 5 years? Let you guys use your whiteboards, do the math, and then we'll come back up to it in a second, and we'll see if we can all say it together. How tall will the tree be in 5 years? 60 feet. And we've got one more. How tall will the tree be in 6 years? If we do 6 times 12, 72 feet. Okay, so we know that they're using feet to label the tree. We need to make sure we also use feet. So we would need to put in an FT for feet. Labels are important. Because what if you mean the tree is only 4 to 8 inches tall? That's not a very tall tree. Okay, so we have wrote our equation, we have set our equation, and we have completed our table, and we have labeled our independent and dependent variables. Very good job, everybody. So proud of you guys. Y'all can do this. Okay. Now that we have done an equation on our own, I want you guys to break up into pairs, your partners, your math partners, and I want you guys to go to the computers, and I want you to search the web to find a process for writing equations. Make sure to take a piece of paper over to the computers so that you can write out the steps to writing an equation, okay guys? I'm going to give you just a few minutes to look this up. It shouldn't take you very long, okay? Okay guys, good job. Welcome back. Oh, almost done. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Okay. Welcome back to your seats. And let's try another problem all together, okay? So let's try this. Okay, Marvin has chores to do at home, just like most kids do. Fun stuff. But Marvin's parents are pretty cool parents because they pay him to do his chores. He makes $3 for every chore he gets. I would say that's pretty good money to make because we didn't make anything when I was a kid. Okay? So, how much will Marvin get if he does 4 chores? Okay? Oops. Pretend you didn't say that, and we'll try that again. Okay, so first of all, we need to find the independent and dependent variables. Which one would it be? Would chores be the independent, or would money be the independent? Chores, because it can stand alone. So we're going to write an I for chores. And dependent would be the money. Very good. So we've figured out our independent and dependent variables. Now we got to write an equation. So we know for one chore he gets $3, right? So $3 is a good number that we can stick with. So we're looking for money. So we're going to use M for money. M equals, let's say C for chores, times $3. So that is our equation. M equals C times 3, or M equals 3 times C. It doesn't matter. It still means the exact same thing. Okay? So if we got to figure out how much he makes for 2 chores, all we have to do is plug in M equals 2 times 3, which is, as a class, let's say it together, $6. He makes $6. Okay? So let's see if we can figure out how much he makes for 3 chores. M equals 3 times 3. Same from the problem, just take it from the table. That's $9. That's right. Very good, class. And the last one that answers the question in our table. So if we do M equals 4 times 3, he gets how much? $12. Very good. $12. $12. So that would answer our problem. So it says, how much does he get? He makes $12. $12, and we're going to box it so that we know where our answer is, so that I don't have to search all over your paper to figure out where your answer is. Okay, guys? Box it. Very good. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so let's see. Who can tell me again what the independent variable is? That's right, it's the chores. And who can tell me again what our equation is? M equals C times 3. Very good. That is our equation. Good job, guys. Very good. Okay, so I know as students, you guys wonder why we use math a lot. And you wonder how these silly problems will fit into your life. Well, hold on to your seats, guys, because I promise this will fit into your life. You can use independent and dependent variables to figure out all kinds of things, okay? Like money. I like money. But you guys like to make some money too, right? Just like Marvin made money here. This is a real life situation. So let's do another real life situation to see how we can use independent and dependent variables. Okay, so we have me, Mrs. Slough. Mrs. Slough's got a job, okay? Besides watching You Little Rugrats, I've got other jobs. Okay, Mrs. Slough makes $20 each hour she works. How much will she make in 8 hours? First of all, okay, independent variable. Tell me, which one is our independent variable? Which one can stand alone? Is it hours or is it money? Hours. We'll write an H for hours. And then what is dependent? What relies on the amount of hours she works? How much money, or as some of the cool kids say, how much cheddar she gonna make? Money. Very good. Money. Okay. So we know she makes $20 each hour she works. Okay? $20 for each hour she works. We've got to see how much money she gonna make if she works 8 hours. Very good. Okay. So we've found our independent, dependent variables. We've labeled them. Now we've got to write our equation. Okay. So we're looking for money. So we'll use an M for money. M equals, can anybody tell me what our equation is? M equals what? That's right. H times 20. Very good job. And now, what are we going to plug in for H? That's right. We've got to plug in each number. Oh, oops. Hold on. This would make more sense if I had all my numbers here. 6, 8, 7, 8. Silly. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go down, do a couple together as a class, and then I want you guys to try to do some with your partners, okay? So we're going to do M equals 2 times 20, which is 40. Perfect. $40. Let's do another one. M equals 3 times 20, and it's $60. Very good. Do one more as a class. M equals 4 times 20, which is $80. Okay, now break up into your partners, and I want you guys to do 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your own. I'm going to give you just about 6 minutes to cover these up, okay? And then we're going to see how our class did, okay? Okay, now that we're back together, who can tell me what M equals 5 times 20 is? $100. Very good. Okay, can the whole class tell me what M equals 6 times 20 is? $120. Okay, we're almost there. 7 times 20 is 140. And the last one, 8, is 160. Very good. So we finished our problem. We finished it. We have wrote our equation, and we've set our equation. We have done our objectives for the day. Does anybody see a pattern going on? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. There is a pattern. Each of them are going up how much dollars? That's right, $20. There is our pattern we are making. Okay, let's make sure that we can meet our objectives, okay? Again, our objectives are label the independent and dependent variable, write an equation, and say an equation, okay? Let's see if we can meet those. Susie, last problem, Susie is buying cookies. Each cookie costs her $2. How much will 6 cookies cost Susie? Okay, so the first thing we have to do, number 1, label our independent and dependent variable. Who can tell me what the independent is? Is it going to be the amount of cookies she buys, or is it going to be how much the cookies cost? It's going to be the cookies. Very good. So we'll write cookies here, and we'll just write a C here for cookies, okay, for our table. Then dependent. What relies on how much money she spends? The cost of the cookies. So the money is the dependent. So let's see here. We're looking for 6 cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we have money here. So we know 1 cookie is how much? That's right, $2. So we have done objective 1, haven't we? We've labeled our independent and our dependent variables. Number 2, we've got to be able to write an equation using these variables. So we are looking for money, right? So let's use M for money. M equals what? M equals C times 2. We've used our independent and dependent variables to write our equation, okay? And who can say it? Let's say it as a class. What's our equation? M equals C times 2. Perfect. Very good. So here we go. Let's fill in our table. So we got 2. So we got 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to plug in. We got 2 there. Let's do 3 here. And 3 times 2 is 6. Very good, class. And we've got 4 times 2, $8. 5 times 2, $10. And last one, 6 times 2, $12. There's our table. So we have 3 objectives that we want to meet. Say we want to label our independent and dependent variables. Check. We want to write an equation using them from the table. Check. And we want to be able to verbally describe our equation using the table. Check. We are able to do all 3 of those things. Okay, very good job, class. Okay, to make sure that you are able to do this on your own, I want you to complete the homework assignment and independently, and we will check on those tomorrow. Okay, guys, take a second, and we are going to move on to our next assignment. Good job, guys. Thank you so much.